Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake Chats 2017, and Deeply Awake Check In and Channel 2017. Ooh, I went ahead and changed it. But holy crap. I don't know what you guys are experiencing, but I will tell you my head is exploding on a regular basis. I was at SGI Center today, and while I was chanting, it was, I understood that the energy was going into the chandelier thing and all the wires. I could see that duh. And then they said, okay, well, don't you understand? That grid's above, there's one below. It's just so you can't see it, and just because it's not done by machines doesn't mean it doesn't exist, sweetheart. And yeah, that's what you're running. It's real. And then it got kind of freaky because I was physically in the room, but then I went and visited everybody one by one because the music just took me. It was so much fun. So I could smell our house, and I said hi to Sam. I went and saw everybody. It was awesome, and it was real. So that was pretty cool. But that was just a little, here, oopsie daisy. Here's a bonbon, because I have been fed, like, I don't know, all the best meals in the whole wide world. It's freaking me out. All right, I've been studying astrology for, like, I don't know, since I was knee high, because I thought it was interesting. It's got patterns. I'm autistic, okay? So just let me be. Let the little girl study what she wants to study. So I did. And it wasn't until last night I figured out the importance of my chart. It's just this fucking punchline that just won't stop. So I just keep having reverberations of it. So I'm going to break 2/23. That's my birthday. I'm going to break it down for you guys, and then I'm going to have them take over, okay? Alright, I was born February 23 of 1961 in Minneapolis, Minnesota at 5:43 p.m. And the geometry that springs from that is pretty astounding. My sun is conjunct Mercury, which is retrograde in Pisces. Sun and Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Opposite, ready? My North Node and Pluto retrograde conjunct in Virgo. So you think the last eclipse that we went through that was a little bit intense? Yeah. So it's been nonstop. I mean, you add to that the other stuff, and it's like, oh my God. So yeah, I've had one of these experiences finally at the sink. I was laughing out loud, thinking, oh my God, here I thought I was telling this super original story all this time. And most of it's just lifted off of mythology. It's crazy. So I'll let them come through, and if it's a personal one, so be it. I think that given the portents, it's appropriate. And if nobody wants to listen to this except me, then fine, I don't have a problem with that. I find it fascinating and kind of important, at least for me. And okay, so why would it be important to you? Why? Well, A, I'm a human being, and so are you, right? And I'm having an experience, and I'm sharing it, so how can you not but grow, right? So on that level, we can agree that this pursuit is not just wanking, right? And then there's the narcissism element. Well, you know, she's so 444. She's so convinced she's so cool. Well, I'm kind of interested. It's kind of pretty. And it makes a lot of sense, and it helps me understand my reality. Okay, so why do you share it? What's it to me? Huh? I don't need to know about that shit. Right? I can hear people think that. Why aren't you talking about mine? You know why I can think that? Because that is how I think. Well, what's it got to do with me? Alright? So, being a little selfish person, these thoughts flash across my mind. So I'm going to tell the little selfish part of you. Because to me, the selfish part is the best part. How does this relate to me? How are you not wasting my time and just self-aggrandizing right now? Please, spill. Right? Well, we all went through that eclipse cycle, right? And we're heading into this one. It's a set. That's what they want to talk about. But for me, this goes deeper and helps me understand that some of these visions and stuff may not be too far off. And what they've told me again and again, that this is a historical document, may not just be blown smoke, which I never thought it was. February 2012, when I had that vision and I saw Quasar, and I was urged to write down the son of Antares is born. And from there was a DNA activation that I can't explain, I can only report. And it was in learning that Pluto's ruler is the Scorpion. And Antares is the heart of the Scorpion. Tumblers then just clicked. And I thought, now we go through this eclipse with Pluto retrograde. The intensity I have known in my blood and bones and eyes for a lifetime. Everyone's experiencing. You think it might be handy for somebody who's been through it to talk about it? Who can also go kind of far? I think so. Last night I realized that it really is my time. So if they want to talk about that, fine. I don't care what they talk about, but I need to bring them through. And what you're seeing is not plasma, it's incense. But it smells so good, and it makes both myself and my son very happy. And so we burn it often and much. Okay. Yes, well, that was longer than far. And totally appropriate to Gonova, we say. 822. The numbers are astounding and will continue to be. We have given an assignment which will be followed, and we are happy for this. We are very gratified, for it is about lightening things up, and we are going to be assisting in little road trips to just break things up. We see the geometries we've given them to her. They seem a little bit impossible, but funny how things work out in the end. Yes, isn't it funny? So, what you were witness to was the human being taking a position of completion. This koan of permission. Permission. I need permission. This was indeed what drummed out of her heart. I need permission. From whom? For what? And why? Well, this drove her. What drives you? Someone who requires permission is going to see many prison bars when they look up from the desk, don't you think? Yes, we think so. Yes, we think so. What is your koan? Do you know? What permeates the air? What smell is in the air as the music pauses? And what color is on your mind? Where do you feel it in your body? There are questions which visit the human being which do not have words and are not even related to many of the senses, but come in form of being moved, being pushed. And it is true. It is true. Take a look at that beautiful chart, and can you not tell this is a goddess? This is a goddess, a dark goddess. A hermaphroditic goddess. Wasn't Mercury hermaphroditic? And this particular chart is Mercury conjunct the Sun in a quite combustible situation. But thank God for the water, yes. Yes. And this underworld character, well, you know, you just have to do a little bit of reading on the internet to see that this is indeed the story. It is so funny. Intensified all that much with the retrograde business, yes. So here's the deal. We would like to have everyone on Earth take a look at the astrology natal chart with a heart of such excitement that they are going to learn the mysteries of the multiverses, because it is, of course, woven within your very geometries. And we would say that it is quite gratifying to come to terms with the expression which is explained so clearly on the stars. Don't you understand? If you're not well, what happens if a person is having a discomfort and problems, and they go to the store and they buy some medicine in a box and they go home, and they don't read the instructions, they just know that it's right to just drink it. And then they presented the ER several hours later in tremendous discomfort and a bit of a problem. And the question was, did you use the product as it was meant to be used? That was an enema, dear. So you probably feel better if you use it the way it was intended, yes? Well, we're not suggesting that your patterns are enemas. We're saying that, you know, once you get the picture, once you really come to terms with what it is you've put in front of yourself to understand, become, and transform, well then, what happens after the enema? Aren't you pretty clear? Yes, we would say so. 1411. Is it okay that we talk about the poopy? Yes, you know, it's part of the human being. It's part of being a kicha. It's part of having a time and date and geometric stamp, which identifies you to you. Not to anyone else, just to you. What a release there is in discovering the profundity of your own soul, the beauty, the complexity, the honor, once you see this, and you see, if you're not in agreement with what that is saying to you, if you find that your life is in direct opposition to the scriptures, if you used a description area that you agree with, that is wide in its base and full of light, well, then you have some things to do, don't you think? No one's pushing you around here. Was it an accident of birth? These geometries? It's just a random thing. Means nothing. Yeah. All these people who study, well, they're so lost. They don't dress right. They don't smell quite right. Many of them have patchouli. And, many of them are poor. And don't get me started with how they act socially. Okay. Keep on going. And still, take a look at your chart and then decide. How authentic are you being to yourself? How honest are you being to yourself? How respectful are you being to Creator? If an entire science is thrown away because it doesn't feel quite right. It is this that is going to change a little bit. You'll see it. Yes, so what we have done is reviewed the triggers for the eclipse, and this is how we want to end. It's important for everyone. We hope that by talking about the astrology of one person, you have seen the fire and the release and the excitement and the joy. And truly, decades of self-harm, self-blame, self-hate, and needing to stay small has vanished overnight. When you see this kind of thing, perhaps this too may encourage you to at least look at it. Yes. Not a knee-jerk optimist, this one, okay? A student of quite voluminous appetite, we say. So, let us talk a little teeny tiny bit, there's always more, about this eclipse. Yes. We simply want to talk about the sun and the moon being conjunct at 28 degree Leo. The sun and the moon. Drop all social conditioning and let us look, please, at a mature lion and lioness. Each have strengths and each have functions the other do not. Each have a life path the other does not possess. They are each other's equals within the roles, the biology. Allows them. There is peace in power. responsibly wielded, or perhaps misunderstood by others. There is confidence in strength. There is relaxation in observation. Then there is accord. Which is cooperative. Sovereigns, each unified, mated, committed, fused, and independent. The moon and the sun, each expressing this vibration on the eclipse. Do you think it might be worth looking at now? Note where your north node is. We end this way. In February, the one before you, her north node conjunct Pluto retrograde was eclipsed. Sun in Pisces, Moon in Virgo. And what we would say about this is this was the end of one life. It was completion. It was release from prison. It was the breaking of the cycle of going underground. And now, this cycle, the North Node in Virgo. This one's North Node conjunct Pluto in retrograde. Her home for this is Virgo, a duck goddess. Having moved beyond birth and resurrection. It's an old story. There's more. There's the tale of equal sovereigns, of balance in male and female, and sacred, balanced, rational expression that is merciful, exact, and beautiful. Have we described a person, or have we described an age? This will be the question. This is the question now, and was the question last night as she lay her head down. No one decides this but the person who's observing, because you know why? Why? It's a quantum reality. The observer assigns meaning and significance. And so this observer here in front of you, blown away, 2444. Yes. Yes. So today is it. We look at the thing because it's good. 813. Yes, 13. because 8 plus 1, 1 being the binary new year, 8 plus 1, that's 9, so of course it's 13. 9 is reflective. This is completion. And the 13, isn't that pretty? Yes, it's a very pretty number. And we wish to have the sum in the sun. Yesterday they didn't work out quite right. And so, what was once a whisper is now a scream. So we get to take the two of them. We cannot, we do not have any authority with the young man. This voice comes out. This energy greets him. Neutral. Why would it not be? He resided within it. So, there must be other ways to move. And we do this with love, not with authority, with love and care. We ask each of you to look at your astrology and to be patient with yourselves, dears. This one still doesn't understand everything. Gee, you think? No one understands everything. But wouldn't you like to start somewhere? So, the most important part of the astrology is the interpretations, yes? If a mind that is not quite balanced is interpreting, then you might get unbalanced or superficial or kind of silly interpretations. Use the Google machine. Use Chaos Astrology. Use Astrolab. So cheap, they're free. Get the feel. Don't rely on just one person. Rely on yourself. Tell yourself a story. Let it unwind, and then perhaps you at the sink. We'll take a deep breath. Think about it all and say, oh my, all this time I thought I was being so original. But I was telling myself a story. Isn't it funny how the story is, there's a break? Yes, there's a break in the story. It would appear there are new characters, new significances, new hero journeys. Oh my. Yes, for those paying attention and following along, what a treat for you today, yes? Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. It's gonna be fun. Having a road trip is a very good idea, and we're gonna be so happy to be untethered. So, namaste.